What is the best cryptocurrency under 1 penny? That is the question of today's video. And I realize for a lot of people that maybe have watched the channel before, they're asking, why are you even making this? I mean, price really doesn't matter, which we'll talk about in a minute, why price doesn't matter on cryptocurrencies. But I'm doing this because, first of all, there are a lot of people that are coming into the crypto space that have not really dove deep into how finance works before. And there are a lot of YouTubers that make videos, usually in traditional finance, like 5 stocks under $5. And the reason they do that is sometimes because it might be a little bit more accessible depending on what platform you're on. Maybe you can't do fractional shares, or maybe it's just because some people honestly don't understand how shares work or how crypto works. So we want to talk about that here today. I will give you a cryptocurrency that is small that I really like. But first, let's talk. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn that bell notification underneath the video. If you're watching this video and you're really wondering what is a good crypto that is super tiny that has huge game potential, I will say I do have a beginners playlist that kind of talks through some of the things I'm going to be talking about here today. I'll put that on the end screen. Also, if you're watching this during the Black Friday week, there's up to 40% off on the Trezor website. If you are new to crypto, you should have a Trezor wallet. This is a way to keep your crypto safe, and a lot of people don't get this and they end up losing a lot of their crypto. I have a full playlist on how to set up a Trezor wallet, why it's good for you, how to use it, all that kind of stuff. And just for this week, it's 40% off. The rest of the time, I'll replace the code most likely, and it's 15% off. But right now, you get 40%, up to 40% off, sometimes 30, depending on what you're buying. So I'll leave links to those underneath the video. Also, there's a link to Margex under the video as well, in case you want to trade with leverage, which I would not suggest for newer people, but in case you want to try that, you can. Now, as I said, we're going to be looking at cryptos that are super small today. First of all, let me walk you through something. If you've been around the market for a while, you understand price really doesn't matter. So if you're comparing two different crypto assets, let's say, and I've said this a handful of times, but again, there are new people into the market. If you're comparing Shiba Inu price and Bitcoin Cash's price, these are the two prices right here. A lot of people don't understand how market caps work. For everything else in life, right, you have a price. If you're buying a pie, maybe it's a $9 pie, maybe it's a $15 pie, and if they're the same size, right, you can tell which one's cheaper. However, that's not exactly the same thing in cryptocurrency or in stocks. Just because one number is much smaller, like Shiba Inu is at 0.000008471, just because it's so much smaller than a penny does not mean that it's a super small crypto. So Shiba Inu, which I've actually done a video on recently. Kind of interesting what they're doing there, actually. It's more than a meme there. So Shiba Inu is actually larger than Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Cash is $226 per token. What you really want to look at is over here. This is the market cap. You can zoom out and see it up here. Market cap. So Shiba Inu's market cap is 4.9 billion, which is bigger than 4.4. Basically, there are just a lot more tokens. You can click on the token itself. You can see a circulating supply of 589 trillion tokens. That's how many tokens are worth this amount. And then if we go over to the next asset, instead of 589 trillion tokens, they only have about 19.56 million tokens. So it's much smaller. There are less pieces. It'd be like if someone were to sell you pie and there's pie A and pie B, and you don't know how much of a sliver you're getting, but you just see the price of each sliver. Like if someone were to say, hey, I'll give you a certain amount of pie for $1. And someone else says, I'll give you a certain amount of pie, but I'm not telling you how much, for $5. You can't really tell which one's cheaper unless you know how much pie you're actually getting. So you don't know how much of this Bitcoin Cash pie you're buying unless you look at the market cap and unless you look at how many tokens there are. So I want to say that up front. And a lot of people have probably heard me say that, but again, there are newer people to the market. So that's important to know. You really should be looking at market cap. So how do you tell what a small market cap is? Well, you can just scroll down, right? You usually sort on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko by market cap. That's just natural. That's how it normally sets up. So as you scroll down, you're getting into smaller and smaller market caps. Now, once you get into a certain range, you really have to understand investing. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to make 100x? How much risk are you willing to take? Because as you get further down, there's more potential, but there's also a lot more risk. These are smaller projects. They have less token holders for the most part. They are not as adopted. And there are some that are just propped up, right? There are some that have such a small amount of circulating supply versus how much they're diluting that it's artificially propped up and will most likely bleed in price, continue to fall down over a certain period of time. Now, I'm not going to get into how to invest completely because that is a topic for a much longer video. I have videos on how to invest in cryptocurrency for beginners on the end screen. Again, that playlist for beginners. But I wanted to show you one crypto that I do really like. And I've talked about it a handful of times, but it's CDFI. So when I look at CDFI, this is what I see. CDFI token is the token behind a gaming launchpad. I realize you might be looking at that saying, that's not under a penny. That's $1.88. How can you even be saying that? But again, as we just said a minute ago, the price really doesn't matter. What you really want to look at is the market cap. And the market cap of Shiba Inu is massive, and yet it's 0.000008 cents. So this is a 5 billion market cap. This is literally 50 times bigger than CDFI, which is $2. So price doesn't matter. I'm just gonna call it that this is under a penny. CDFI is under a penny because it is a smaller market cap. Now it's not super small. There could be micro caps that are $1 million, $2 million. There's some that are $40,000, stuff like that. But when you get under a couple million, it gets extremely risky. This is where some people get huge gains. But even people that were talking about Caspa early on that have huge gains now, hundreds of X's, still we're talking about it in like the $5, $6, $7 million range. Those were the earliest people that I've ever seen talk about it on Twitter. And a lot of people bought from 30 million to 150 million, 200 million, 500 million. More and more people will get into it as it gets bigger because it's talked about more. People are talking about the gains, talk about how high it could go and hyping it up. So I'm just saying this crypto, I'm just calling it, it's under a penny for all intents and purposes. Now, why would I like this? Well, let's take a look at a couple different things. So market cap, 102.9 million. The fully diluted market cap, under 200 million. So this means that over half the tokens, about 55% of the tokens are already on the market. Now, compared to Bitcoin, Bitcoin has about 90% of the tokens on the market. Some cryptos aren't inflating at all. Some are actually becoming deflationary. But in gaming crypto, this is actually pretty good. A lot of gaming crypto tokens end up diluting a lot. They keep on giving crypto away as rewards, for example. Now, I like that. That's a good thing right off the bat. Second of all, this still isn't super available to people. Like one thing that pumps up cryptos a lot is just the fact that it is on a lot of exchanges. This is on KuCoin, Uniswap, and PancakeSwap, and then Bybit too. So there are other exchanges it's on too, Gate.io, HTX, but it's still hard for a lot of people in the US to get their hands on this. It's difficult for a lot of people to understand PancakeSwap and Uniswap at first. So a lot of people that want to buy this token just don't understand how to or can't figure it out. Which means with this small market cap, it could pump up a lot in the next bull run. Now, I also like the industry it's in. I think crypto gaming is a huge narrative. Whether you like crypto gaming and you think it's going to take off or not, you have to understand that there's a narrative there. There are a lot of people that want to buy into that. There are a lot of people that think crypto gaming is going to be huge. So even if you don't necessarily think that narrative is going to work out long term for yourself, you have to realize that there are people that are going to buy this because of that narrative. There are a lot of big influencers that are pushing that narrative. And I personally think that gaming crypto is going to do really well in the next bull run. Now, how has the price action been so far? If I'm trying to get into a cryptocurrency that's small, I don't want to buy it when it's at all-time highs. Well, that's not a problem with CDFI. You can see here, it went up to about $16. Now, you also don't want it to fall like 90% and then another 90%, and then another 90%. You don't want some crypto that was thousands of dollars that's now $1 because it's probably a sign that it's dead. But you can see that this is still, about 90% down from the all-time high, but it's made some big gains recently, which means there are people buying in, trying to load up their bags. Now, is it too late? Everyone wants to know that. Well, it's up 200%, 210% in the last month. So it is up a lot, but is it too late? I don't think so. I think the problem is a lot of people just want to put in some amount of money and only see it go up. But if you are late, or even if you're early, you're going to see your bags go up and down. If you buy right now, or if you're watching this video right now and I made this the night before, see if I could be down at $1.50. This is literally where it was a day ago. Literally yesterday at the time of this recording, it was $1.45. So you could be up a significant amount. In the last one day, you could be up 18%. I'm up 18% the last day. I've been buying consistently. That is the way to go, and that's from $1.59. So it's actually up way more since a little bit earlier yesterday. It's actually up like 35%. If you want to buy something like this, if you want to buy some smaller crypto, I recommend, and I can't really make recommendations because I'm not a financial advisor, but I think it makes sense to try to dollar cost average. Buy small amounts over time. Figure out how to do it, and then just do it. Whether it feels good or not, just trust yourself, trust the decision you made weeks ago, months ago, and then consistently do it over and over. Buy more, buy more. It goes up to $2.40, probably buy some more. Eventually, though, you will want to sell out. You want to have some level that you are willing to sell out at. Now, personally, I think this could 10x. I said that recently when it was $1.10. I said it could maybe 20x at that point. I do think this could be a $1 billion market cap, and I don't think that's crazy to think about during the next bull market. So this is a cryptocurrency that I think has a lot of potential. It's my smallest cryptocurrency that I hold a very significant amount of, and it's actually my third largest cryptocurrency that I hold. I've said that very often on the channel. It's the third largest that I hold, and I think it has a lot of potential from here still. Let me know your thoughts, though. Let me know if this is a cryptocurrency that you think has a lot of potential. Let me know what cryptos you like that are under $1, under a cent. Again, it doesn't really matter, but it is interesting for newbies to think about, and it is interesting to look at smaller cryptos. I think that's really what we have to be thinking about. Smaller cryptos, not a penny, a tenth of a penny, that kind of thing. Again, check out the links underneath the video to Treasure cold storage wallets that has the biggest discount that they're going to have all year. It's the biggest one that I've ever seen to get your cold storage wallet now. Or if you know someone that is getting into crypto, buy it for them maybe for Christmas. Or if you just think your bag's going to be a lot bigger in a year, 2 years, you might want to have multiple wallets ready. So that way you can diversify a little bit in case something were to happen. So check out that link underneath the video. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.